We would just remind people that basically Singaporeans aged 40 and above will get a 4,000 top-up in SkillsFuture credit. And if they take time off to do a full-time course, they'll enjoy training support of up to $3,000 a month for up to 24 months. Yeah, so I mean, Minister, I want to ask you whether such that top-up for SkillsFuture credit, was it also to help people like Catherine, in that situation?
Very much so. I mean, we recognize that the pace of change in the economy is accelerating. Technological advances will mean that some job roles will become obsolete, but new job roles will continue to be created. And that's why it's very important for workers, especially mid-careers, particularly 40 and above, to have a significant reboot in their skills. And that's what this SkillsFuture enhancement is about. And we hope employers will support their workers for their skills upgrading, and workers will make full use of these enhancements in the SkillsFuture credits.
But Samad, I want to come to you because you represent a lot of workers. I mean, Catherine seems like she's quite a go-getter. She's thinking ahead for her future, right? Is that similar with many other workers out there? And will this SkillsFuture credit really help those in that situation? So what are your thoughts on this?
First and foremost, the SkillsFuture credit is one of those welcoming news to all the workers there, right? I think like what we hear from her story is about sacrifice, which needs both the worker and the employer. Right, she's right to say some employers may not be easily wants to release you, right? But if we have a worker like this, employer also has to change their mindset. If a worker goes for training, that is, it may not be directly, now for you see, that worker may not be directly benefiting to you. But if a worker comes with certain skills, you may see down the road it's actually benefiting you. So at times we are having challenges where employers doesn't want to release. So we need to change the mindset of both worker and employer, because we see a government has done their part.
Right.
Giving up the 4,000 skills credit, and you go beyond that, you got 3,000 allowance. This is very welcoming, but both parties has to do it. If both parties combine together, I'm very fundamental that workers should be in the position, but we don't wait to be retrenched.
Yeah, okay.
We make sure we get the skills ready for the next job opportunity.
But now, like Catherine, she wants to do it, she's got the funds to do it, but then her company may say, sorry, I can't give you time off.
Well, that's why we continue to work very closely across different industries with the unions. We engage companies one by one. We set up company training committees. We provide funding for that too. We get employers on board. We provide additional support for employers. Hopefully, more and more will join us in this endeavor. There may be a few that will take a bit longer, but I think in the end also, the market will sort itself out because individuals will know where the better employers are, and they will want to gravitate towards these better employers. And the ones who don't change will feel the pressure, hopefully, through market competition to up their HR practices and improve their employment practices and support their staff in training.
Yeah, let me ask the sociologist, does that work, that sort of mind games? Do you think that will work?
I tell you,
it's market competition. It's not mind games.
Okay.
Catherine is a very good example of the midlifer Singaporean. So I think moving forward, the SkillsFuture credit, thank you, Minister, because it's exactly what we need, right? Because we are living longer, and it's too idealistic to think that you don't ever have to change a career, right? So the idea of somebody having aspirations and wanting to move forward in new areas to challenge themselves is a construct that employers have to accept, because that's the only way we can survive, right? Because for a population demographic where we are going to have older workers and we're going to need to keep our workers in the space post 65. Because we're not having enough babies, right? So if you think about it, if you can expand the work life of an ordinary worker from 65 to, let's say, 70 or 75, and you add all that up, it can, you can put them in terms of the number of new workers they can actually replace, right? Young workers.
But at the same time, they need to have the right skills.
That's right. So the SkillsFuture credit is really a big plus. So it's very important then that employers look at workers as not just, items to be fit into the gaps that they have.
Right.
It has to be a partnership.
Okay.
Right? We have to match the aspirations of these midlifers.
Yeah.
It's a mindset change for employers.
Is it a transitional period then that we have to face?
I think the employers who have embraced this new mindset will find that in the end, It may cost more in the short term because they do have to put in some investments into their workers' training, but in the end, they will emerge better as a company. And I'm sure this has been proven time and again. The more progressive employers, the ones who have moved, can already see the benefits, and hopefully more can see this is the way forward, and more companies and employers will join them. But we are hopeful, and we are making progress together with the unions and as part of our tripartite partnership.
So I think the CTC grants has actually gone way beyond. We've cleared more than 1,000. It's not just about the grants with the company. What we also make sure that the workers has new skill sets. After achieving the new skill sets into their new job roles, they have a pay increase.
Right.
That is the fundamentals that we want, right? I think talk about costs. That government funding really helps, especially small employers who doesn't have enough funding with the government kind of support. That gives us a better lever to push. End of the day, to the workers, if I go for training and doesn't translate today, I complete my training, tomorrow my pay increase. It's about doing on the job. Right? And then they can see the employer starts to appreciate this worker, his contribution, the productivity savings that they make. What the unions wanting to do is you need to share the savings.
Right.
You
so
need to share the profits.
everybody gets uplifted in that sense.
Yeah.